Okay, well, the Jeep needed a front bumper, and the cheapest way to buy a front bumper is to just buy some metal and make your own. So I went down to the local steel place, and for $45 I got that piece of flat steel, and then I got this 5x3 angle iron. And I'm going to be designing and making myself a front bumper using nothing but mental visions and cardboard and tape. I designed that, which I'm going to make out of that flat plate. And the middle piece, I wanted it super strong, so that's 1/4 inch angle iron. I feel like that'll drive through anybody in your way through Brampton. If this works out, I'm going to build more of these maybe and start Rob's Brampton Bumper Company for driving through Brampton. Alright, so I got all the cardboard triangles drawn up on the metal. Next I'm going to take everyone's favorite, the death wheel, and cut them out. I have them all listed PS so that I know they're the passenger side, and then I did them all with a line facing up so that I know I'm doing the passenger side. For the driver's side, I'm going to use the same templates, just flip it over, mirror image. So yeah, let's get to cutting. Well, that's 2 pieces cut out so far. I'm going to do the last 2 not on camera just because it's kind of repetitive for you guys to watch. And then we'll start mocking it up and see if my no measurement technique works. Alright, so we got all of our wonderful triangles cut. Let me try not to give you just a vision of my knee. But basically, we're going to start kind of lining them up, tacking them in place, and yeah, sticking them all together. Oh, I didn't turn the welder on. Remember, always wear your safety goggles and your welding mask and such when doing this. My welding mask is all the way over there, so I'm just gonna close my eyes. Yeah. I didn't like label the pieces very well, so I don't know what goes where. And there it is. One corner, kind of mocked up. I'm probably going to cut this on slightly more of an angle, just to even out that gap. And then just round the corner down there a little bit.
That looks dope.
But yeah, this is going to be probably the nicest $45 bumper I've ever made.
That is
also the only bumper I've ever made.
Yeah.
Alright, I got the bumper off of the car, and I'm going to weld her all up. And after she's welded up, I'll do like the little adjustments, like cutting the little fangs off of here, because again, I did this with zero measurement. And just like a little bit off of here around the corner so no one sues me if they get stabbed. But yeah, let's get to it. There we go, one side is all welded up. Not the prettiest welds, but I'll grind them down, and once they're bedlined you can't tell. Still got to trim this little corner here, that spike, and a little bit on the bottom here, just again because I did this without measuring. Well, I got the inside of the bumper all painted with bed liner now. Gonna let that dry before I flip it over and do the other side. Isn't it sick? So I added the tow hooks off of the stock TJ bumper. The bolts are mismatched because I didn't have enough. But other than that, I think she's looking pretty sweet. I've got a lot of stains and dirt to scrub out of these. This is what they look like after they've been pressure washed. This I have scrubbed. And it's going to need one more pressure wash, but a lot has come out of it. And the piece I'm working on now is the floor area kind of behind the front seats. So I guess the rear passenger footwell. And what I'm using is just a spray bottle. It's not vinegar in there. It's a spray bottle with some Mr. Clean multi-purpose cleaner. About a tablespoon of it, and then the rest is just water. It seems to work pretty well. Again, these carpets have 400,000 kilometers and 20-something years of dirt. But basically, work one section at a time, soak it in with this stuff, get your brush, and start scrubbing. Well, it's not perfect, but it is getting a lot of the dirt out. So I'm going to do that till I finish every carpeted surface on the Jeep. Then I'm going to go pressure wash them out again, and I'm going to say that's good enough. I didn't do the full interior, but after much washing and scrubbing, I got all the carpets in. I am missing the carpet for that side of the rocker kick panel thing. So I'm gonna call this Jeep junkyard I know of, see if I can get one of those. And a couple little things I still need from there. I think I'm missing the driver's side sun visor. But yes, she's getting so close to being done. I'm loving the way it's turning out. Alright, next step is the body mount. This one seems to always rust out first on the Jeeps. I started by cutting most of it out. I still got to cut some more of the rusty metal out at the back there. But yeah, here's what came off of it. So I made a cardboard template right here. And that goes something like that. And then I went and I bought some 16 gauge steel, because you don't want to just use normal like 22 gauge body steel. That's nowhere near strong enough. And then I laid this down like that and made that wonderful template with a gold Sharpie, because we're out of black Sharpies, and new black Sharpie is not in the budget for 2020. But yeah, next step, cut that out. I'm gonna make two, one for each side since they're both rusty in the same spot, and bend them up. Then we're gonna have to drill a hole in it, weld a nut on the inside. But yeah, let's get cutting. Okay, so we don't have a metal brake. What I use is a vise, and if the vise is not long enough, I just put some wood and a bit of pressure. Let's see how this is going to work. Okay, well, with the body mount all bent into shape and test fitted, I lined up where the body mount is going to go to the frame, drew a circle. So now in the middle of that, I'm going to have to drill a big hole and then weld that nut on the inside so that this bolt will be able to go through the body mount and into this. I'm bad at explaining things, so I'm just going to do it and you guys can see what I had in mind. Well, I couldn't find any washers that would be thick enough or with a hole big enough in the middle, so I made my own. This is just 1/8 steel plate. Cleaned up the bottom of the nut so that I'm not trapping any rust there. Basically, I gotta weld this to this. A trick to make sure that you weld this center, so if you move it a bit, then the bolt won't go through. I like to bolt the nut to the plate that I'm welding. And now the worst feeling, when working on Subarus at least, is breaking the welded nuts inside the frame channel. Subaru basically does a few little tacks. I don't want to run into that problem, so I'm just going to run a nice bead all the way around it, make that nut really secure in there. It's hot and I don't want to touch it. Okay, got a little carried away, but after I welded the nut to the plate, I'm welding the plate to the body mount. I sprayed some of that zinc primer between the layers just so that no rust starts between them. There it is. Not the prettiest welds, but I'm sure they'll be plenty strong. And yeah, that's one body mount patch done. Well, I didn't show the process for the second one, but here's the finished product. All nice and welded up. Holes drilled for the spot welds. Just gonna coat the inside with some weld through primer, and second body mount is good to go. Alright, more Jeep progress. What we're doing now is blowing all the crust and rust and dirt out of the frame so that we could undercoat it. To clean the frame out, basically what I'm doing is I got a brake line soldered onto a brake line fitting and an air blower, and you just stick it in holes and kind of blow everything until you get to a bigger hole like here. And then I take a vacuum with a hose on the end of it and vacuum all the stuff out of the frame. Lots of fun. Okay, so here's an example of what I'm doing. Blow on in the frame holes. Just kind of push everything to a hole that you can get the vacuum in. You could say you have all sorts of like rust flakes, sand, dirt, an old mouse house. Excellent. It's time for undercoating. So we got the undercoating gun with a flexible wand. If you'll follow me this way. As you saw, we cleaned all of the junk inside of the frame. Next we're going to stick this in the frame, and it's basically going to spray oil like that inside the frame, and this has a really cool head, so it sprays in 360 degrees. Let's get rust proof.
360 degrees.
Well, 358, but close enough.
My God, Robert, what about the last 2 degrees? Those are the most important degrees.
And that's it. One frame rail done. I gotta do the other side, and then I'm gonna do all of the like body mount channel, basically that part down here. I'm gonna fill that whole channel up with oil as well, just to prevent some future rust. But that should be it.
Excellent work.
Okay, so now we're gonna change the front and rear differential fluid. I got this all unbolted. The last one on top is loose. So I'm gonna set the camera somewhere and let's see what comes out. Ah, my camera person, excellent. Immediately filmed something else.
I'm helping.
You recognize this tool?
Yes, it's a 5-in-1.
Yes.
So useful.
So, watch out, there's gonna be a bit of fluid coming out. That actually didn't look too bad. That's a good thing, there was no water in here.
Hooray.
Alright, I'm gonna pull the top bolt out and we're gonna see what's under here.
Is it rust?
No, I hope not. Look at that. Everything actually looks pretty good. No weird chips or uneven wear.
This is the
front differential.
cool.
Okay, let's get the rear cover off and see what happens. You know, even the rear one wasn't that dirty. I'm impressed considering it's sat for 7 years. Alright, look at all this progress. The Jeep has an interior and it's pretty clean. So the next thing I was working on, if you look all the way down in there, that hole is for a blower motor resistor, which was not working right. And let me show you why. That's what came out of her. Somehow that wasn't working anymore. So went down to the parts store. About $20 later, we got a fancy new one. let's test it out. That's low. Oh, we got all the speeds. Amazing. That's what I love about these Jeeps. Takes about 5 minutes with basic tools and you can fix an issue. Anyways, now I've got to get on to replacing the headlight. The low beam is out on this side, so I got a replacement sealed beam unit. After that, we got fluids here for the transfer case and transmission fluid. The differentials were already done, the coolant was done. That took about 5 flushes with water till it was clean. And I also had to flush out the heater core because I wasn't getting any heat inside. That was very clogged. But yeah, I'm gonna put the camera down, get those last few things buttoned up, and I think it's time to actually take her on a test drive, give it a quick wash, and yeah, she's getting very close. The parts in the back there are not for the Jeep, those are actually for the $5,000 STI, which will be the next personal project. But yeah, I'll fire the camera up when the fluids are changed, and we're heading out for a car wash.
Alright, Jeep driver Rob.
Oh my god.
She's on the road.
She needs an alignment. I still gotta fix the exhaust. But no warning lights, she drives, she shifts, she's got every gear.
And it has heat now.
Yeah, let's turn it on.
Yeah, let's turn it on. So sick.
Yeah, the wind noise in these is unbelievably awesome.
Yeah. It's
like,
about the same as a
it's like
05 Forester. Yeah.
I forgot to bolt this plastic piece on. That keeps falling down.
That's
minor things. I mean,
minor, yeah.
This is a Rob restored vehicle.
Yeah. Frickin' right. So yeah, now we're questing for fuel and first car wash.
Yeah.
It's gonna be rad. Alright, we've gone to the gas station, topped her up, and we also topped up the wheel nuts because they weren't tight.
Yeah.
And it's like amazing how much better it drives when they're tight. Like, it feels good. So now we're heading back to the shop, and the Jeep is getting there.
Alright, well, you guys saw the first drive. It was pretty sweet. Got it back in because there was a few more things that needed doing. The horn didn't work. That was super fun. I ended up testing every bit of the entire system until I could trace down the problem. So the horns were good, the ground was good, the relay was good, fuse was good, horn button was good, clock spring was good. In the end, I narrowed it down to the wire that goes from the clock spring to the relay, which unfortunately is a really long wire, because it's part of that harness there, and then it goes all the way across the firewall, down in through there, in through the firewall, then up through under the dash into the column. So yeah, I ended up pulling a whole bunch of like the loom off in different sections until I could find a spot where the wire was kind of puffed up. Let me see if I can find it in here. Probably not. But anyways, one bit of the wire was puffed up. Come on, I know I have it around here somewhere. Don't you love my organization? Ah, there it is. So I went around and looked at all the wires until I found one that looked a little lumpy like this, and if you look inside, she was green. So I ended up cutting this whole section of wire out. It was maybe a good, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches. Replaced it with some good wire. Used some waterproof heat shrink on it, got it all back together, and now we have a horn What else did I do? This side marker wasn't working. Pulled out the bulb and it turns out the socket was all corroded, so I went and I got another bulb socket and bulb, so now that light works. Basically, this entire day has just been tinkering and doing all the little bits. But yeah, I think that might be it for tonight. At this point, I can safely say she's just about done. Next time you see it, I'll have it all washed, detailed, and put together, and we'll give you guys a nice walk around outside during the day, show you guys what the finished product looks like. She's finally done after like 8 months of work. Just went, gave her a quick wash. You can actually see the paint again.
So Rob said the Jeep was done, but it's not quite done yet. There's still one more very important bit. So, see right here? Okay, it's probably frozen. It's like -10 out. Then we fucking sticker slap it. Oh yeah. Now she's done.
Wanted a black roof. It's late December in Ontario when we have about a 2-hour drive and I'm freezing my nuts off. This is great.
It's not even snowing. Hardly anyone staring at the Jeep. It's fine.
Frozen like this.
Perfect day for a ride.
Okay, so that brutally cold trip was for the black top. It still needs a treatment to get it nice and shiny, but I definitely think it goes better with the color theme of the Jeep. And that's it, guys. This was started, we bought the Jeep in May. It is now, I think, 2 days before Christmas. It's finally done, and tomorrow we're going to go drop it off and surprise someone with a sweet Jeep. Thanks for watching, guys. Let's use Had Dog. Oh, dog.